Okay, how about now, guys? Sound? Yes? No? How about now? How about now? Oh, goodness. This is so frustrating when you have issues. Okay, how about now? Sound? All right. I tell you. All right, good. All right, good. All right. Sure. I've been having issues with my sound. I had to go to another browser today, and I thought I had it all figured out before I went live, but evidently I didn't. Okay, so let me start over. So for y'all, all of y'all that were like, hey, I'm just gonna hang out here. Thank you for giving me a minute to fix my issues. I appreciate you. So today, the focus is going to be about hashtags and not only how you find them, but how you do so smartly and ultimately why you leverage the power of hashtags. I think a lot of times people are trying to put stuff out in the social space, but they don't have a growth strategy for their communities, and so hashtags are one of those things, one of those ways. So thank you guys so much. As you guys are coming in, just give me a shout out. Where are you in the world today? I'm in Tampa, Florida. It is nice and sunny today. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s. I've only been out a couple of times, but it was lovely outside. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me while I figured out the sound issue. I'm excited about sharing today. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Kim Garst. I'm an online business strategist. I love helping people shorten the learning curves on how they can up-level their business using digital and social media. So we have Seattle. Hey, Peggy is in Seattle. We've got DC in the house. So Marco says, I have 10 lives. I have one issue for every 10. I have one issue with sound. I don't know what's going on. I even had trouble getting my camera to connect too. So it's always so frustrating when things don't work, right? Tex Arcana. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. And we've got Liverpool. So Sue is saying it's cutting in and out. Well, poo. Is anybody else having any issues? Okay, I see. We got Central Texas. Hey, Monica. Parkersburg, West Virginia. Oh, sorry, Laurie. Did I refer to you as a guy? I hope not. I don't remember doing so, but if I did, my apologies. We've got Orange County. So there's like this all this buzz today. Well, for weeks now around the coronavirus, right? So my boys play hockey, and so all day today, all morning. Let me restate that. All morning, I've been getting messages from my oldest son updating me on the NHL. Like it's like, okay, they sent the refs home. Okay, I think they're going to close the season down, or I think they're going to call off all the games, or they're just going to have games and there's going to be no fans. And so it's been an interesting thing to watch this. And I'm just curious as to how, if at all, it's impacting you guys. I've been hearing a lot of folks saying, that it is impacting them in some interesting ways, different ways than they thought it would. So for me, I'm pretty much going about my business. I'm being careful. I'm washing my hands a lot, but I'm not really letting it impact me a whole lot. So just curious if it's impacting you guys. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked. Really? I know. So Monica's saying, I'm so tired of the memes and the jokes. And I'm just tired of the news about it. Everything has to be so political these days. We should all just be pulling together and figuring out how we protect one another is the way I look at it. So, Sandy is saying, yes, events are getting canceled all over the place. So those of us supplying promos for those are taking a big hit. Yes. And then Jenny is saying she's in the travel industry. And yeah, that is obviously, that's definitely an issue. Wow. Yeah. Well, I'll keep you guys in my thoughts and prayers, because I know it's going to roll downhill. There's just no way that it's not going to impact a ton of people. And I'm just hoping, outside of the fact that you could get the virus, there's going to be financial impact, and I think that's stressful for a lot of folks. So anyway, all right. So let's change the subject and let's talk about hashtags real quick. I am going to pull up this. Here we go. Oops, let me get that out of the way. Y'all don't need to worry about that. See my back end mess I've got going on. But today, like I said, I wanted to talk about hashtags and then how you leverage them to market your business and grow your followers. And I think that is something like I said before, sometimes we're struggling to find the right people, attract the right people to us. And hashtags are a great and wonderful, fabulous way to attract the right people to you, because there's people searching for content all the time using hashtags. Primarily on Twitter. Of course, hashtags originated on Twitter. So primarily on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok is like crazy ridiculous when it comes to hashtag hubs. And so that is, those are the primary platforms, but you can use them on literally every platform. They're available for Instagram. I'm sorry, not Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, even LinkedIn. Now, I would caution you to be careful with like Facebook and LinkedIn and not, use as many hashtags as you might like on Instagram, for example. But having a consistent hashtag strategy is just super smart. So let's talk about this real quick. Let's get moving. All right. So again, I've basically outlined why they're important. There's one, it's just a great way to be found. It's also a great way to even own a hashtag hub. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And again, it's not just any hashtags. You want to make sure that you're using the right hashtags. So carefully choosing those hashtags are super important. You want to make sure that they're in alignment with your ideal audience, your target market, and potential customers that you have as well. If they're not, if you don't choose them correctly, and I'm going to give you a framework for choosing them correctly, then you're ultimately going to struggle. Guys, if you have an aha moment as we're going, please type in aha and let me know what that aha is. Like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Because I'm going to share a couple of really cool things I think that are super awesome. One, once you get your hashtags, how do you keep from having to type them in every time? Hang in there. I'm going to share how you do that. Okay, so again, you want your hashtags to use hashtags that your ideal client or customer are going to be using to find you or for you to find them. So it goes both ways. You can even, I'm just looking at some of these comments as they're going by. I love it. You guys, I just want to say real quick, when I see comments where you guys are engaging with one another, that just like makes me so happy, because that's the way I feel true community is reflected, is when it's not just, me being able to share knowledge with you guys, but you guys being able to connect with one another. So I love it when I see that in my comment section here. I love that. Okay, so when you use the right hashtags, these are the things, these are the outcomes that you can expect. You can rapidly increase the amount of likes and comments that you get from, your ideal client or customer. You can multiply the amount of potential new customers following you. You can. And then you can get more people actually inquiring, DMing you and saying, hey, I've been reading your content, or, hey, maybe they opt in and join something, or, maybe they just buy something because they found you because they were looking for you. Think about your socials as the Google machine, in the context of hashtags, because people are looking for content around hashtags, and in some cases they're looking for specific things. Like maybe they're looking for a business coach, right? And if they find you with that hashtag hub or a hashtag strategy, whatever, however you ultimately leverage it and whatever it is that they're looking for, well, they're already looking to buy, they're already looking to connect. So it's super important that you leverage hashtags, because again, it's like going to the Google machine and searching for knowledge around, buying a product or a service, right? Hashtags allow us that same privilege. And I think that's one of the biggest huge value add outside of the opportunity to get more likes and followers, the right kind of likes and followers. So your hashtag strategy is to attract more targeted fans or followers who care about the content that you post. It's a super effective and free way to give your social media marketing a lift. All right, so I want to talk about the strategy first before I go into tools. And explain what I call hashtag hubs. Hashtag hubs are, I break them into 3 categories. Large hashtags, which are, like friends, and they're 1 million and over usually. If you if you go to Instagram and you, type in the hashtag friends, you're going to get there's 10 million people using the hashtag friends, right? Medium hashtags are in the range between 100K to 1 million K. And then small hashtags are under that 100K. In other words, there's under 100,000 people sharing that hashtag, that specific hashtag. So when you're looking at developing your strategy, all of these are important. Large hashtags are important, medium hashtags are important, and small hashtags are important. But you want to have a mix of them. You don't want to just go with large hashtags, because what happens when you leverage large hashtags, when somebody's searching for it, because there's so much competition for that hashtag, the opportunity to be found with that hashtag is slimmer. So as you start to go down the hub list, if your hashtag is only, it's in that under 100K category, then there's not as much competition. The chances of you being found are greater. So I wanted to touch on that real quick. And so you can understand what that means. So again, large hashtags are good for quick engagement, high volume. Medium hashtags are good for solid volume, but they're more targeted as well. And then small are highly targeted. They're easy to trend for. And this could include like your keyword plus another word combination. And I'm going to give you some solid examples on this too. So hang in there with me. But bottom line, you need to have a good combination of all these hashtag hub sizes. The goal of a hashtag is to use it for emphasis and branding is not, so like lots of times when we're using, I'll just give you a quick example. Just saying, I say just saying quite a lot. And sometimes I'll use the hashtag just saying, and I don't even put the G on it. It's just, I abbreviate it. And these are more for humor, emphasis, awareness, and content organization. They're not always for, people being able to find you or something. So there is a need for these in some cases. And I see a lot of people using these, but not normally in conjunction with a solid hashtag strategy. So I wanted to say there's a place for it, but it's not, I wouldn't necessarily incorporate it into the core part of your strategy, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. So we're going to break this down. Like I said, I'm going to give you a formula for your hashtags. You basically want to go from broad to specific, and you're going based off of topic, audience, location, trending, emphasis, and branded. So I'm going to break these down individually so that you get a glimpse into what that actually looks like and what it means. So start with descriptive words based on hashtag types. So you want to brainstorm words that describe certain aspects of your business. The more specific, the better. And you can research these later. And I'm going to give you some tools that show you how to research. So hang in there with me. So going back to that topic, audience, location, trending, emphasis, and branding. Let's take a look at these real quick. The topic is going to identify what your posts are all about. The marketing, it's broad. These go back to those top tier big hub kind of thing. So hashtag marketing, hashtag health, hashtag accounting, hashtag real estate. As you start to break these down into smaller, like, and get more clarity on them, you know, it might be like digital marketing, for example, or Facebook marketing, or, you know, any of those types of things that are starting to get more granular. Audience identifies who the posts are for. So if I'm a mompreneur and I'm looking for content for me as a mompreneur, I'm gonna click on mompreneur, right? Or maybe if I'm looking for small business content, or I'm a writer or a marketer, that kind of identifies who you're trying to attract to you. I hope this is making sense. And then location is about where you do business. Now, this is not applicable for everyone, but it certainly is applicable for people who have brick and mortar businesses. Like, you know, just looking at this from the standpoint of, you know, if you own a restaurant in Nashville, or if you have a real estate agency in Ybor City, those are great types of hashtags to use if you do have a location specific business. And then popular hashtags are just that. And I really want to key in on these because the only disconnect, so let me talk about the disconnect first. The only disconnect is that they're trending, meaning you have to pay attention to them consistently. You have to find out what is trending so that you can key in on it. And the only reason that I would recommend using these is if they're applicable to your business. Let's say you're sharing a motivational post, and so Monday motivation might matter, right? Those are definitely popular hashtags, and people are searching for Motivation Monday. Or if it's Super Bowl or New Year's Day or Hump Day, or, you know, sometimes those are absolutely appropriate based on whatever, you know, whatever's happening or how your content ties into it. And then emphasis hashtags, here it is again, you know, it's like the things like just saying, am I right or am I right? Oops, truth. You know, they're fun to use, but they're not as impactful as some of the others. So you have to just be careful for leveraging these. Like I say, I use the just saying quite frequently, quite known for doing that. So it makes sense in my space, or for me personally anyway. But like I say, a lot of people use just these, and, you know, they'll make an entire sentence out of and turn it into a hashtag. Like I say, they're fun, but they're not usually really impactful. And then there's branded hashtags. Now, this, guys, is super smart. You definitely want to have your own branded hashtags. Now, we can't own a hashtag other than really owning the volume of content that's attached to it. Now, so when I say we can't, like, we can't say, okay, I own Faith in Business. I can't say that, but I do use it a lot, and so do others. But it is a branded hashtag. It is a little bit more granular, or it's actually a lot more granular. And it's just one of those things that it will depend on your business. Like my friend Madeline uses Twitter Smarter. It's tied to her brand very much so. My friend Shalene Johnson uses the Shalene Show. One of my previous live shows, I had Ignite Your Business. So you can definitely leverage the power of branded hashtags. And, you know, honestly, like the Shalene Show, who else is going to use that? Like, it's not going to, that is so totally Shalene's because it's tied to her personal name, right? The reference there is, you know, she can totally own that. Some of the ones that might be a little looser, like Faith in Business, other people are going to be using them. But with these branded hashtags, when you leverage them, when somebody searches for them or clicks on them, and you are using that hashtag frequently and more frequently than anyone else, your content's going to surface above and beyond other people's. So that's, yeah, really good. All right. So next up, hashtags are not case sensitive. So I want to share that with you because sometimes I don't think people understand this. But I do use, I want to go back to that real quick. I actually do capitalize things because I think it's easier to read. So just wanted to share that with you. You can do whatever makes sense. If I type in, like if I capitalize things in my hashtags, that hashtag is going to surface just the same as the results will surface the same as if it was lowercase. So it doesn't matter if you use, capitalization or not. It's just the platforms themselves are not case sensitive, but they do show up with the capitalization. So from a standpoint of people being able to read them very easily, I usually use capitalization, but that's totally up to you guys. So, woohoo. Okay, so it looks like Dana's saying, aha, branded hashtags. Yes. And I saw another aha moment up here a moment ago. Monica's saying, I've never seen a filter like this. I've heard about the hub, but not really broken down into specifics. Good. I'm glad that was helpful. I think it really matters when it comes to trying to figure out, the mix of your hashtags. Okay. So second thing you have to do, you always, please do this, guys. Research your hashtags. And I'm going to give you some tools to do that. So hang in there with me. I would, in fact, here's a few of them, and I'm going to give you one other that I think is really important. I'll start there. How about that? There's a tool called Tailwind.com. It is an Instagram/Pinterest scheduling tool, but they have a little hashtag finder component inside of their tool. So if you guys have Tailwind.com or are using it, I recommend checking it out. It's super clever. It's a great little way to do some research and find great quality hashtags. But there are other tools like allhashtag.com, Hashtagify. Go to Twitter or Instagram and do some research. So a couple of ways that I recommend that you do this. Type your words without spaces from the step one when we talked about, what's that process going to look like for you? Is it going to be a string of words? Is it going to be is it going to be business coach? Is it going to be small business coach? Is it going to be health business coach? Whatever it is. And then again, put that without any spaces, into the search box for any of these resources. And then it'll give you their sentiment and their popularity. Specifically, all hashtag does. So you want to search the hashtags. Once you find those hashtags, you get a little bit of clarity on whether they're going to be popular or not. Then go over to Twitter or Instagram and then see how people are using them and see what your competition looks like. And that way you can start really refining what hashtags make sense for you and your business. It does take a little bit of effort. What I would suggest you do is spend probably 2-3 hours max on this, and do a little bit of research. Get a couple of lists of appropriate hashtags, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, why you need more than a couple, and then you'll be in pretty good shape. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just use them, and you don't have to refresh them. We'll talk about that in a moment too. All right, step 3, use this formula to finalize your hashtags. So your topic hashtag plus an audience hashtag, and then your choice of a hashtag type. So like personal branding, small business, social media marketing. And as you can see, these are very specific, and they also fit back into that bigger hub formula as well. Here's another resource, and I love this little resource too. You can identify hashtag sizes on righttag.com. So once you've determined what hashtags you want to use, this is how you figure out where they fall into the hashtag hub size, if you will, that I was talking about before. Do they fall into the large category? Do they fall into the medium category? Do they fall into that small category? And then you can see, okay, well, look, social media marketing, it's got over 1 million people using it. So maybe I need to refine mine, make it a little more smaller, unless that's one of your big hashtags. So you just have to leverage the power of a couple of tools to do some research, figure out where your hashtag choices fall, and boom, it's not that hard, but it does take a little bit of research. All right. Step 4, make a list of those babies. You want to make sure that you're keeping track of your research as you go through this, because you may find that you think, wow, this is going to be a great hashtag, and then you do the research and it looks like it's got some pretty good popularity, and it falls, maybe in the medium range for size, for the hashtag hub size. But then you go to Twitter or Instagram and you look at it and you're like, man, people are not using this the way I think I would use it. In other words, the content that is surfacing when you use that, when you research that particular hashtag, isn't your style of content. You're like, well, that doesn't work. Mark that off. And then you just keep going down the list. So it's important that you keep track of what you're researching. And then create at least 3 different groups of, say, like 20 to 30 hashtags. I know that seems like a lot, but there's a reason behind it. And you can have some crossover, but I would recommend that you try to come up with, if at all possible, at least 2 of 20 to 30 hashtag hubs, and with a mix of large, medium, small hashtags that you've researched and found out that they've got great popularity. People are using them in the context that I need to be found in. And now you're like, okay, I'm set. I'm ready to go. I have a doozy of a tip. Anybody want a doozy of a tip? While you're all telling me if y'all want a doozy of a tip, this is a doozy. I'm telling you. I'm going to take a quick sip of my water. I gave up Diet Coke about a year ago, and so now I'm addicted to bubbly. I think it's better for me though, right? Okay, so the doozy of a tip is this. If you're on an iPhone, and I'm pretty sure that this probably works on an Android too, but I don't know the settings. Okay, so you go to your iPhone, you go to settings, you click on general. And by the way, take a screenshot of this real quick, because this is how you can do this. And you want to make sure that you have access to this really quickly and easily so that you don't have to remember it. So click on settings, general, keyboard, text replacement, and then you can click on the little icon in the top right corner, and you're going to want to make sure that you have your hashtag hubs on a list inside of your, using your list. But if you have made a list of your 20 or 30 hashtags, all you have to do is copy them and paste them and name your shortcut. So you click on that little icon in the top right corner, you paste your list, and then you name it like H1, H2, H3. That means hashtag 1, hashtag 2, hashtag 3. That stands for hashtag list 1, hashtag list 2, hashtag list 3. So this is how this works. When you go to Instagram and you're getting ready to post something, you get your photo up, and you want to put your hashtags in. All you have to do is type H1, and it propagates all of your hashtags. So it just pulls them in, boom, sucks them in. I don't make good noises, but there you go. It sucks them in, and you don't have to type them all. This is like amazing. This is an amazing doozy of a tip. So Gwen is saying this is gold. Yes. And literally you can change these. I mean, like, that's why I say it's so great if you have 1, 2, 3 hashtag hubs, because you can vary them. And I would say you need to vary them because people get tired of seeing the same old things. And you want to reach as many people as you possibly can on a variety of different hashtags. So, you could type in H2, you could type in H3. This is like gold. Super awesome. I'm hoping you guys take a screenshot. You're going to want to make sure that you leverage this strategy because it's an amazing time saver. Okay, so let's talk about some common hashtag mistakes. Too many targeted hashtags, and that's with hashtags with less than 1K results. So they're using too many of those versus trying to come up with some that are mid-range, and then those bigger ones as well. And again, hashtag fatigue. People do, day after day, month after month, year after year, you start to lose the value of the same old hashtags. That's why I'm saying you really want to vary that up and have more. And then spammy hashtags, I would avoid those if you can, like hashtag share, follow for follow, hashtag comment. Those are considered kind of spammy. So that would be something I would try to avoid. And I do have a top performing hashtags, guys, for 30 popular industries, but I told you guys I was having some tech issues before I come on, and I couldn't get my landing page. It wasn't working for some reason. So if you would like this, and I don't have my bot set up to immediately deliver it, but if you would like it, just send me a personal message in my Facebook inbox there, and I'll have the team make sure that you get it. Okay. We'll do it manually. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll actually have conversations. How's that? Okay, Lavina, I'm not sure that how an Android works when it comes to their settings and stuff, but I'm positive that this will work on an Android too. Woohoo! So Monica's, I knew there was a shortcut, but I didn't know how. Yes, this is pretty awesome. Okay, so let's see. Desiree was asking what the last, hang on just a minute. I'll put it back up here. Get it back on the screen for you. Hang on, let me back up. Here we go. So here it is again, Desiree. It's name your shortcut. So you'll have to name it like, in other words, the name of it has to be what you type in when you go to Instagram or when you go to TikTok or wherever you want the text replacement to appear. You want to make sure you name it. And then when you go to do it, all you have to do is type in whatever it is. So you need to make sure that you remember what you set it up as. Otherwise, and that's why I just use H1, H2, H3, because it's like hashtag 1, hashtag 2, it's very easy for me to remember that. All right. Okay, so here's the hashtag thingy again. Just do a quick screenshot and you should be able to follow the instructions. All right. Well, hopefully you guys got some serious value out of this. Like I say, I love sharing this content because it's just nobody really goes, a lot of people, not nobody, but a lot of people struggle with, a strategy when it comes to hashtags. So I try to put some framework to it. I try to give you a roadmap so that you can go do your hashtag strategy. So spend like a couple of hours brainstorming, doing the research to make sure that what you brainstormed matches up with what people are searching for. Match up that with how people are using it, and then make some lists. Make those lists, put them in your phone, and you are on it. So Lorraine is asking, where do we message you? Just if you're on my Facebook page, or hopefully I know some of you guys are on Periscope, but if you will just check out my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Kim Garst Biz, B-I-Z, then we'll make sure we send it all out. We'll get it out to you guys. Sorry, I didn't have it automated. I just had some tech issues today, and we're just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. All right. So hopefully, yeah, you are so welcome. Does anybody have any questions? I'm excited about the hashtag top performing hashtags freebie that I'm gifting you guys, because it is pretty clever way to get started. Thank you. And thank you guys so much. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I'm always appreciative. I know time is valuable for everybody, and always appreciate the time you spend with me. So have a great rest of your day. God bless. Take care. Stay safe. And we will see you on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right back here on all the socials. Take care, guys. God bless.